Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we sift through the sources to bring you the most potent nuggets of knowledge so you're well-informed fast. Today, we're plunging into something truly fundamental, something that touches pretty much every aspect of our lives. Teamwork.
It really does.
Think about it. Whether you're, coordinating chores at home, collaborating on a community project, or driving big initiatives at work, working effectively with others is, well, it's essential.
It's definitely more than just gathering people in a room, isn't it?
Right.
What's fascinating, I think, is that effective teamwork. It's about individuals intentionally coming together, developing that shared identity, and then working, synergistically.
Synergistically, I like that.
Yeah. The ultimate aim is shared success, which means strategically leveraging everyone's collective talent, knowledge, and experience. It's deliberate.
That's a powerful way to frame it, that intentionality, the shared success. So our mission today is to give you a really comprehensive overview of teamwork. We'll cover the basics, the foundational concepts, look at the dynamic journey teams go on, and even the different structures they can take.
Sounds good.
We want to make sure you walk away with some truly insightful and hopefully practical knowledge. So let's start by laying the groundwork. We often use group and team almost interchangeably, but there's a crucial difference, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. A vital distinction.
So what is a team in this context?
Well, our sources define it pretty simply. A group of people formed to achieve a goal.
Okay.
But the key thing, what sets it apart, is that members share responsibility. They intentionally pool their collective talent, knowledge, and experience, all for the benefit of the whole group.
Right. Shared responsibility.
Exactly. And teams can be temporary, like a specific project team, or they can be indefinite, like a department that works together long term.
Understood. So it's that shared purpose and that shared responsibility that really define it. And building on that, if you want a team to perform well, you need more than just putting people together. That's where team building comes in.
Precisely. And team building isn't just like a casual lunch or doing a trust fall, although those might be small parts of it sometimes.
Fine. Sure.
It's defined as an organized effort to improve team effectiveness. It's a deliberate, structured approach, making a group function better, more cohesively.
That makes a lot of sense, a deliberate effort. Okay, So once you have a team, it doesn't just magically become this high-performing unit overnight, right?
Not at all. There's a process.
Yeah, there's this widely recognized roadmap, isn't there? Tuckman and Jensen's four-phase model.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through that progression?
Certainly. Yeah, it's a really influential model. It was first put forward by Bruce Wayne Tuckman back in '65. He'd reviewed a lot of research on group behavior.
Okay.
Then later, in 1977, he collaborated with Marian Jensen to update it. But these first 4 stages he identified are the ones most people know and use.
Gotcha. So stage 1. What's the very first step when a team comes together? What does that look and feel like?
That's the forming stage. And this initial phase is really all about orientation accomplished primarily through testing.
Testing.
Yeah, think of it like everyone's testing the waters, figuring out the boundaries, both interpersonal, like how we interact, and task-related, like what's expected.
Okay.
Our sources say members establish dependency relationships with leaders, other group members, or pre-existing standards. It's marked by introductions, a bit of uncertainty,
Sure.
maybe some apprehension, but usually some genuine excitement, too, as the team first gathers, kind of like the first day of school, but for a team.
Right, a lot of unknowns, polite navigation. So if you're leading a team that's in this forming stage, what's your main job?
Oh, the leader is crucial here. You need to create an environment where introductions can happen easily, actively foster rapport, build those initial connections, and present a clear first agenda. Make those initial goals really transparent.
And for the team members?
Well, focus on making others feel comfortable and really work on your listening skills. Try to grasp the objectives and just maintain that positive energy.
Okay, so everyone's introduced, goals are sort of set, but then things can get a little, less polite. That often leads into the storming stage, right?
Exactly, storming. This is where things can get messy. It's characterized by conflict, maybe even emotional responses, as different ideas and personalities start to clash. The sources describe it as conflict and polarization around interpersonal issues with concomitant emotional responding in the task sphere.
So basically, disagreements and feelings getting involved with the work itself.
Pretty much. It's where different ideas compete, egos might pop up, you get those classic turf wars.
We've all seen that, I think.
Oh, yeah. I think we've all been in that meeting where the air felt thick, and progress felt impossible because of stuff bubbling under the surface.
Definitely.
If you mismanage the stage, it can be very destructive. Or the team just gets completely stuck.
This is a critical point.
It is. And interestingly, trying too hard to force consensus here, that can actually lead to less effective plans because people stop voicing different, maybe valuable opinions.
Wow, that sounds like a real minefield. Can you actually use that conflict for good, or is it just damage control?
No, you absolutely can and should harness it. Strong facilitative leadership is key.
Okay.
Leaders have to address any conflict immediately and directly. Don't let things fester.
Right.
The goal is to help the team generate win-win solutions, using assertive communication, continuing to build trust even through the conflict.
So conflict isn't inherently bad then?
Not at all.
Right.
Handled correctly, it can actually be a powerful catalyst. It sparks creativity, leads to stronger solutions because you've actually explored different views.
That's a great perspective, seeing conflict as potential, not just problems. Okay, so after storming, hopefully things settle down. That brings us to the norming stage.
Yes, exactly. As conflicts get resolved productively, you see this clear shift towards harmonious working practices.
Harmony. Sounds nice.
It is. Teams begin agreeing on the rules and values by which they operate. They develop a real in-group feeling and cohesiveness, adopt new standards and roles.
So they're finding their groove.
Pretty much. They start to truly trust themselves, trust each other, and accept that every member's contribution is vital. The team starts feeling like a real unit.
So the team's finding its rhythm, establishing its identity. What's the leader doing now? Just kicking back.
Not quite kicking back, but they can definitely take a step back. The role shifts, becomes more facilitative.
How so?
They might provide task and process tools, maybe suggest ways to work better together, or even throw in some energizers just to keep the momentum and enthusiasm up.
Okay.
And the team members, now that they've built that mutual trust, they can focus more freely on the process and task. They understand they're like a link in a chain. Everyone needs to pull their weight. The leader moves from directing to enabling.
Enabling, I like that. And then the goal, the peak performance stage, performing.
Yes. This is where teams truly shine. They show high levels of independence, motivation, knowledge, and competence.
Sounds ideal.
It is. Here, the way people interact, that interpersonal structure, it just becomes a smooth, efficient tool for getting things done. Roles are flexible, functional, group energy is channeled into the task.
So less focus on the team dynamics, more on the actual work.
Exactly. Decision-making is collaborative. And importantly, dissent is expected and encouraged.
Encouraged, even now.
Yes, because there's such a high level of respect. They understand that healthy dissent prevents groupthink.
Right. Groupthink can be really damaging.
Absolutely. More destructive to innovation than constructive debate ever could be.
It's really fascinating how that leadership role evolves. It almost sounds like they're handing over the reins as the team matures. What's the leader doing at this point?
Yeah, it's a lot like that. The leader's role becomes mostly support and mentoring, providing necessary task or process resources if the team needs them.
Okay.
The participants themselves are doing higher-level analyses. They might be using tools like SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats to support complex decisions.
Right, SWOT. Good tool.
Yeah, helps teams look at things strategically, internal factors, external factors, make smarter choices. It's really about empowering the team to keep doing that high-level work on their own.
It makes you wonder, though, does that same journey, that leadership shift, apply to all kinds of teams? Because teams aren't all the same structure, are they?
No, they're definitely not. And while those developmental stages, forming, storming, etc., can broadly apply, different structures do need different approaches.
So what are the main types?
Well, we can think about a few main categories. First, you have your traditional teams.
Okay, traditional. What defines them? How do they usually work?
Key things are achieving a shared understanding and purpose, operating with mutually agreed upon operating principles. Things like clear agendas, how decisions get made.
Standard operating procedures, basically.
Kind of, yeah. And they're inherently interdependent. Everyone's contribution is vital for the team's success. And a crucial aspect here is distinguishing task from process.
What does that mean exactly? Task versus process.
It means recognizing that how the team does things, the process, is just as important as what it actually produces, the task or outcome. It's about the team's internal mechanics as much as its output.
Got it. Process matters too. So what about teams that have more autonomy, more control over their own work?
You're likely thinking of self-directed teams.
Right.
These teams are typically responsible for a whole product or process. They take on planning, scheduling, performance tasks, stuff that supervisors might have handled previously.
Wow, so they manage themselves to a large extent.
Pretty much. Leadership roles, often filled by a facilitator rather than a traditional manager, become even more facilitative over time as the team gets better at running itself. It's a significant shift of power and responsibility to the team.
That's a huge shift, empowering the team directly. And then especially now in our super connected world, we have teams that aren't even in the same room, maybe not even the same country, the E-team.
Exactly. E-teams, or virtual teams, they are geographically dispersed teams linked by webs of communication technology.
So connected by tech.
Right. Members usually have complementary skills, a common purpose, interdependent performance goals, and crucially, mutual accountability. They really are a product of our networked age.
What are the big pluses for these virtual setups, beyond just bridging the distance, I mean?
Well, there are several really compelling advantages. One is access to global talent. You can hire the best people, period, regardless of where they live.
Well, they're huge.
It is. They can also give shy participants a new voice. Some people feel more comfortable contributing in writing or in a structured virtual meeting than in a big face-to-face group. It can actually democratize participation sometimes.
Interesting point.
Plus, less commuting, less travel time. That can boost productivity and maybe improve work-life balance. And this kind of setup often fosters a more horizontal, less hierarchical structure in an organization.
That's a strong list of pros. Virtual teams aren't just a compromise, they can actually offer unique benefits. But I imagine there are unique challenges too.
Oh, definitely. There are key things to consider, like needing some overlapping work time across different time zones for real collaboration to happen.
Yeah, time zones can be tricky.
And the lack of face-to-face body language, that often means communication needs to be more formal, more explicit. To avoid misunderstandings, you have to be really clear.
Can't rely on reading the room.
Exactly. And it's vital to make sure nobody gets left out of the loop just because they aren't physically present. And maybe most importantly, these teams need a high-trust culture to work well, because you don't have those informal coffee machine chats that build rapport naturally.
High trust. That seems fundamental for remote work.
Ah.
So, okay, whether it's traditional, self-directed, or an E-team, it sounds like having clear roles is pretty important for things to run smoothly. Can you quickly outline some of those essential roles?
Of course. These roles really help ensure a team operates effectively.
Okay.
You've got the team leader who guides the team towards its goal, creates that conducive environment, and handles key communications.
Right, the guide.
Then the team facilitator, they focus on the process, making sure interactions run smoothly, helping the group manage itself, enabling those how decisions, making sure everyone gets heard.
Process person.
Exactly. The team recorder is vital too. They document key points, ideas, decisions. That creates clarity, accountability, prevents those, wait, what did we decide again? Moments later.
Oh yeah, those are the worst.
Totally. The timekeeper keeps an eye on the clock, gives updates, helps keep discussions focused and on track.
Essential for efficiency.
And finally, the team members themselves. Their role is to show enthusiasm, commitment, honesty, share their knowledge and expertise, ask good questions, and really respect diverse opinions. Every role matters.
It's clear that successful teamwork really depends on this orchestrated effort, doesn't it? Everyone playing their part.
Absolutely. And what's truly fascinating is how all these elements, the stages, the roles, the communication, how they all come together to create something, well, greater than the sum of its parts. It reminds me of that Henry Ford quote, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success.
That's perfect. It really captures that whole journey we've been talking about.
Doesn't it? From forming right through to performing.
So what does all this mean for you, the listener? Well, understanding these team dynamics, the stages of development, forming, storming, norming, performing, it's really critical for effective collaboration. Doesn't matter if you're leading or just participating.
Exactly. We'd really encourage you to think about these concepts and how you might apply them to enhance your own team's performance, whether that's at work, at home, in your community. wherever you collaborate.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember, commitment and consistent practice. That's really key to building these truly effective teams.
So think about the teams you're a part of. What stage do they seem to be in right now? What role do you naturally play? And maybe how can you proactively help move things forward? We hope this deep dive has given you some useful tools and insights.
Yeah, and maybe a final thought to consider. How can you, in your very next team interaction, proactively try to foster that high trust, that clear communication that we see in performing teams? Even if others aren't explicitly thinking about these stages, just you recognizing where the team is. That alone can change how you engage.
That's a great practical thought to leave everyone with. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please make sure to subscribe, share it with someone you think could benefit.
Yeah, spread the word.
Let us know about your own experiences with team building. We genuinely love to hear from you.